Yo, man, what's good with y'all? Boys, it's your boy Forever the Fetty Fitness. Back at it again. Day 283, man. 283. Going. Hey, man, if I just get right into it, man. Share with a friend, we're going every day.
The first 3 to 5 years.
You're about to hear a life-changing speech from Tracy. Relax, take notes, and watch this entire video so you don't miss anything that can have a huge impact on your life.
The starting points of the development of negative habit patterns are, first of all, destructive criticism. In early childhood, destructive criticism is more painful than a lash, because destructive criticism, we used to talk about this like a neuron bomb. You know, a neuron bomb has a special characteristic that you set it off over a city and it kills all the inhabitants and it leaves all the buildings. So if you're in the serious business of warfare, looting, plunder, and things like that, you don't want to destroy all the property, so what you destroy, you just destroy all the owners, and then your army goes in, buries all the bodies, and you keep all the buildings. I mean, that's the neuron bomb. It's for neutron bomb, that's right. They used to call Jack Welch Neutron Jack, because he would shut down entire divisions and lay off 30, 40,000 people, and leave all the buildings standing. Called him Neutron Jack. So destructive criticism is like a neutron bomb, in that what happens is the neutron bomb destroys the person, leaves the building intact. Destructive criticism destroys the emotions of the person and leaves the person intact. So there's the person walking around with their emotions completely destroyed from destructive criticism. Destructive criticism early in life, as you know, leads to incredible feelings of failure and feelings of inadequacy. Now, anything said by a PP, which is a prestigious person, parent, sibling, older relative, teacher, is taken to be a true representation of reality by the child. As an adult, if I were to say something to you, like Randy, I say, boy, that shirt you're wearing sure sucks. I mean, would you get that at a Goodwill or something like that? Randy can just laugh. You know, when men say that, by the way, it's usually a sign of affection anyway, so it's pretty hard to get anybody mad. But Randy can just laugh, and he can take my opinion for what it's worth. He can take it, he can respond to it, because he's an adult. He's got enough discriminating power to consider the source, all right? Children don't have any ability to discriminate. So anything you say to the child accepts as true. If you say, you know, you're no good, you're late, you never clean up your room, you're messy, you're not very smart, you'll never amount to anything, child has no way of blocking that. It goes straight into the subconscious mind and is locked in as a place of semi-permanent data. The child accepts it as true and operates on the basis of that. For example, you know, if I said to you, lunch is out here, down the hallway, and over there, you would just say, okay, well, I'm down here, down the hallway to lunch. You don't question, you don't argue, you don't fight and raise your hand and so on. The child's like that. The child just accepts. So anything that is said by an older person, sometimes an older relative will come over, an uncle, an aunt, a mother-in-law. So you see Ann Landers on a regular basis, the mother-in-law comes over and criticizes the children. And the mother says, you know, it's my husband's mother, what can I do? She's always criticizing my kids, and I don't think that's good. And Ann Landers is really clear. She says, you know, don't let her in your house. If you do, you supervise her, and you just tell her straight, don't talk to my children like that, because it's so destructive.
60.
So number two is lack of love. As we talk about, lack of love is another form of neutron bomb, is there's a one-to-one relationship between the amount of love a child receives, quantity and quality, and a healthy personality. One-to-one relationship. Now here is a mistake that many parents make. Many parents say they love my kids. Oh, I love my kids. I do anything for my kids. Of course, I'm at the office all week until 12 o'clock at night, then I play golf on the weekends and go off on business trips. And so what happens is they treat their children like domestic pets. When they come home, they're there, they may get a little scratch behind the ears verbally. Hi, how you doing? Have a good day. Then they watch TV. And you find that the amount of one-on-one time that parents spend with their children, they get so busy that they don't do it, especially during the formative years. Mothers are much better at this than fathers are. But then there's a lot of people who say, well, mothers should get right back into the workforce as fast as they can and get someone to take care of the kids or put them in daycare. Now, whoever came up with that great idea is probably a parent, an adult, of a really broken relationship. Broken parenting. Because the more time you spend with a child, the more you tell them how valuable they are. If you don't spend any time with the child internalizes, my mommy, my daddy never spends any time with me. It must be because I'm no good. It must be because I'm fundamentally flawed. I'm just no good. they grow up and they become a behavior problem, and they get in trouble at school, and they act out, and they drink, and they blow up in anger, and they get damage to themselves. They are fighting against this awful feeling they have inside of being of no value to their parents, because their parents, especially their fathers, spent no time with them. This is a major problem in America, where you have children growing up illegitimately. George Will had this wonderful column many years ago, and I thought, what a wonderful thought. He said, no child asks to be born. No child asks to be born. So when a child is born, and you are responsible for taking care of that child. And then the second quote that I read was, a child should be in the company of someone who is crazy about them for the first 3 to 5 years of their life. And I thought, isn't that a wonderful idea? Is no child asks to be born, but by gum, if they're born, they should be in the company of someone who's crazy about them for the first 3 to 5 years of their life. And many parents didn't know this. We didn't know that. My parents didn't know it when I was growing up. We sure knew it when we had our first children, because we had learned, we get caught up. For children to feel fully loved, 3 conditions must exist. Number 1, the parents must love themselves. The low self-esteem parents raise low self-esteem children because they don't love themselves. So they're critical toward themselves, they're negative, they're angry, they're depressed, they have a whole lot of problems, sometimes they drink and so on. And many of us were raised by parents who didn't love themselves very much. And second of all, parents must love each other. The greatest kindness that a man can do for his children is to love their mother, and vice versa. The greatest kindness a woman can do for their children is to love their father. Because children learn about love by seeing it in their environment, by watching it, experiencing it. They learn. Many people get married. They call it a trial marriage. Most trial marriages are people have never seen true love expressed genuinely between their mother and father while they were growing up. So they have to get married to learn about it. And it's a trial marriage. It lasts a few years, breaks up in flames, usually in the 20s, mid